teams in that Italian region. There's a lot of experience on this Italian roster. Carnifex especially. But Australia has 6 players, all from the same team. I was obviously part of the committee in helping select this team. We definitely thought it would be best to go with this roster who's been together for so long and knows each other's ins and outs very well.
Well, they've been through the trenches too. This is not the first time they've competed together in a live event. Of course, a long time. So for them, this is just another day where now they get to perform in front of their fans.
And that's an absolutely huge boon for them as well. Australia's just esports events and exactly how rowdy we like to get. But now we're going to be heading in here. In the red, it's going to be Australia on the attack, and it'll be the Italian squad to defend to start things off here on Kings Road.
And what you're going to be seeing from this Italian squad is that they are also running a dive defense. So what comes out here with the dive defense, Mitch? This is where the defense is going to try and cut the offense off, take the initiative, and not let the offense engage how they want. It is back and forth with both teams deciding how do you get the best positioning to start the fight.
Hey, look, this is going to be probably the least aggressive of dive comps that we sort of see right now. It's a very standard 2-2-2. You have a Tracer and a Soldier 76 here. And Link on that Soldier is probably going to try and use high ground to his advantage as much as possible. Fighter, a lot of onus on him to protect his backline and keep his supports fighting fit.
And this is where it can be wars between divas, because on the opposite side, when we take a look at Australia, as they come in on their attack, what are you going to be seeing? You're seeing Kiki move up and try and suppress Link, while also keeping in mind his own backline. Divas have to make key choices and how to defend their team and oppress the other side.
One of the hardest roles to play right now in Overwatch, but Kiki and Fighter should be up to the challenge here.
Looking to go right in, and there they have it. Trill diving right in. Plenty of cleave damage coming in, hitting multiple.
But Australia aren't done yet.
Australia right now is just pushing them back. They know they have the advantage, and what do they do with that? Get players on the objective, and if
him with 5 players, there's no other. Not what he can do with that. So far, and Italy they haven't had a kill yet.
From downtown, but they don't really buy that much time. But what they do here, Mitch, is that they feed Australia ultimate charge, and that can be
to move it forward. The rest of Australia are getting aggressive, trying to chase some kills just to whittle Italy down, and most importantly, stagger their respawn so the Italians struggle to have 6 players up at any one time.
They are, and there is one rare. But right now, this fight is already being engaged. Australia looking for this early poke, and this is about to get real.
The Transcendent's been used in over this fight here by Nisa. Italy want to get aggressive here, but they're struggling. The Pulse Bomb lands on Bims perfectly, and now it's going to be responsive. Transcendence from Australia. They're running over the top of Italy right now. The Thunder from down under is hurting. Lightning may just strike twice in this particular case, as Italy are yet to get a kill.
Australia is making the hometown fans really happy right now, Mitch, because they are just rolling right on through. And that was great from Gumba. Saw the Transcendence comes in, uses a Transcendence of his own, lets Australia keep the momentum going forward. And Mitch, you take a look at this next fight. Atar very well might be having some people in his sights.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Bims has that sound barrier. That's going to be very crucial. The timing will be the most important part of that. Trill has a primal rage, though, so it's going to be hard to get past the big front line of Australia, but Italy are going in.
Italy is going in, and Atar, the tack visor is up. He's looking for targets into the back. You see the Tracer into the backline here for Australia, but it's more even than expected. Even with the sound barrier, Australia pushed back a bit by Italy, but now Italy very much poked down. They have to give up ground, but this is where they can't, Mitch. It's 1 meter away from getting into second.
Yeah, and Italy aren't done yet. They've got to keep trying to contest this one now. We can see Trill finds Sarah's Primal Rage. The fists are swinging, and he removes him from the fight. We've been sitting on with ATAR for most of this fight, and you can see the fighter was desuited so early on in the piece that he was able to have so much freedom to work and get the damage done with the heavy pulse rifle.
And what we're seeing here, Mitch, is that Australia has great mechanical play. Italy, even when they have fights that might be more even, they're not able to get the first kills in the way you need to win a fight here in Overwatch, so they've been on the back foot this entire time.
Self-destruct coming in from Italy, one of the 2 ultimates they have available right now. It doesn't find anything. The Australians break line of sight with the payload. A little bit of a back and forth, and the Transcendence is going to come in for Nisa.
Transcendence is in for Italy. This is the one way that they can push back into Australia, but Australia, they just back out. It's a beautiful disengage, and now they can come back in, and what a pulse bomb coming in from I Eat Up, and that is brilliant. Australia now moving right in.
Perfect start and a brilliant start to the fight now. RQT even getting involved. The boops are really doing damage. I think he knocked Fighter off the edge into the little hole there near the side room. Australia barreling forward. 4 minutes and 15 are on the clock, and ATAR's ready to hit another tack visor.
Mitch, this is a brilliant start here for Australia. This is a blazingly fast time on King's Row. King's Row, yeah, teams can go in, and look at that. Every fight starting out with a pick for Australia. ATAR, tack visor in, and he is cleaning up.
And you can see desperately Fighter's trying to use the defense matrix to cut this damage down, but he can't be everywhere at once. ATAR finds 2 with a tactical visor. Fighter gets desuited after the fact, and now we're into stall. It's desperation. Carnifex throws himself at the payload, but he's blown up almost immediately. And there it is, a strong start from the Australians. 3 minutes and 48 seconds remain, and that's a brilliant time to kick things off here in Sydney.
Mitch, that was surgical. Australia, we know that they're a good team from what they've done before, but they came out guns blazing here and put Italy down in the worst possible way. When you take a look at this from Italy, now it's just, how do you have an offense as fast as what Australia just put on the board?
It can be done. And King's Row is the kind of map where we've seen attacking teams have a lot of success. If you can, like you mentioned earlier on, ZP, build up a little bit of a snowball, win the first fight convincingly, get a lot of good ultimate percentage on your side, and exacerbate that advantage further to get a lot of extra ground. But Australia looking very solid. We notice, I think, the first kill for Italy came in front of the Foundry, in front of that second checkpoint. So for the most part of that round, they were struggling to even get enough damage down to focus the targets they needed to. And with that much freedom, Australia was just more than happy to run riot.
The other thing that I think was really hurting Italy there is that when you look at the DPS players from Australia, you look at the Tracer and Soldier play coming in, both of them were able to get early pickoffs here in multiple fights, and regardless of what the ultimate situation might be, if the rest of your team has to open up 5v6 because, say, Carnifex goes in and gets picked off, that's a tough job for Italy to recover from here. So I'll just note for Italy is that, particularly in their flankers, they have to be careful to keep them alive and have the ultimates all go in at the same time, because it was a little bit disorganized.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Italy, in terms of how they use their ultimate economy, they only really had maybe a maximum of 2 ultimates up at any one time, because they didn't have the freedom, the liberty to actually sit on them and accrue more of an ultimate advantage. Australia were forcing a lot of ultimates out. We often saw Nisa being forced to Transcendence and come forward. Australia, in that last phase, actually disengaged really nicely when the Transcendence became a factor. So Italy now needs to be surgical here. And IE2 up is going to have to be a main target, because he was causing so many problems in that first half.
All right, well, we'll get to see what Australia has on defense here, Mitch, but the offense of Italy is underway, and we have a Genji sighting. We're going to see just what Link can do on this Robot Ninja.
You can see Australia always nowhere to be seen on the point. They've backed away, get a little bit of information early to make those proper decisions later on, the informed decisions. ATAR went very low to the poke of Link. He needs to heal up quickly, and Australia are going to be ready to get aggressive on this defense.
What Australia knows here is that they can give up a little bit of ground, but that is big. It's a nice pickup coming from Nisa. Gets ATAR out of the fight, and for once, Italy moving in with a 6v5, and they are taking good advantage here, Mitch. This could be a rough start here for Australia, as Italy is striking right back.
This is a very good start. They've pretty much gone straight towards the point, and this very simple approach is working very well. Link gets up on that high ground and gun, but not much he could do about that. Was trying to use his biotic grenade from the high ground, but Australia have to cede this first point immediately.
And now, this is where Australia might be getting a taste of their own medicine. We saw them going the second last time, Mitch, with all sorts of momentum. Now, we'll see if they can do, on the Italy side, what Australia did just a moment ago. So, this is Italy's window to even the score.
I note that Australia are being very careful about how far forward they push away from the Foundry here. We can't even see them on screen right now because they're sitting so far back. Fighter, just checking for flankers here. He knows IE2 up probably wants to work around the left side. He wants to try and shut him down with a nice little pulse rocket. But again, Helix rocket, should I say. We're going to sit back on the streets now. We're going to roll on.
And now, one thing to note here is that Italy does not have quite the ultimate advantage Australia did when they were in the same situation, but Carnifex is one to watch here. He has the pulse bomb up. We'll see if he can go to the back line and open things up. Australia, they're going to deep dive in here, Mitch, and it is even here, 5v5.
Trill dropped down and got the pulse bomb thrown on him straight away now, and you can see Link just trying to take cover behind the payload. A lot of damage coming, but he's used his block, backing away. The pulse bomb dropped at his feet there like a little present. That's not the one you want to pick up, but Australia are now re-establishing over this payload. Link eventually falls to eat you up there, and it was the start from Trill just dropping on down. He got pulse bombs, EP, but he managed to create a lot of space.
He did create space, and that's the thing for Winston is that you can dive in, and sometimes you will give up your life for doing so. But if you can create space and do damage to the backline, you create the opportunity for the rest of your team to come in and really make the most of that opportunity, and that's what we saw coming out there from Australia.
You can see IE2 up here looking for a bit of information and pushing forward. It's actually a little bit far away from their spawn right now, so you can buy a lot of time as Australia, but look, here comes the sound barrier.
Sound barrier's coming in, and here comes Dragonblade right to the back. Link looking for targets into the back, has to deflect, getting utterly stymied for most of this here. Does get A-Tar towards the end, but he's getting knocked right back. Nice primal rage from Trill here to create space and keep Australia safe from that Dragonblade.
Oh, Link is very low. He has to be careful. He's playing a dangerous game. Nisa fell earlier on here, and Bim's just going to go down on the payload. Australia are sticking together, and they managed to survive with Nisa coming in with the Transcendence, and they managed to weather the storm. Again, IE2 up is cleaning up.
And here's the key thing here, Mitch. Italy invested a lot into that fight in terms of ultimates, and they did not come up with anything. How big is that now for Australia and buying time for their defense?
I mean, this is the part of the map, ZP, for attackers where they should be snowballing forward and actually using an early ultimate advantage. They don't have that now. They can be stumped.
They can, and now for Australia, we'll see if they have it in them to hold here on second. Italy coming back in on the attack, looking aggressive, but there it is, Mitch. Defensive pulse bomb ruins Italy once more.
And the fight is absolutely over. Bims didn't have a sound barrier, but Italy needed all hands on deck to try and break the hold that Australia have right now. You can see Ceres is concerned about being pursued. He actually dropped down his shield just in case Ichiwap was going to get some easy free damage on him as he fled.
All right, well, Italy, another take coming up here. They are back to 6, but that pulse bomb doing its work. The problem here, Mitch, is that they're going to be looking right into the iris. Australia can engage with the Transcendence, and now this fight is underway. Both Winstons poking each other, and ultimate should be soon to follow.
You can see Australia are backing up a little bit on this Primal Rage here. They're going to force Ceres to be on his own in amongst the entirety of Australia. You can see this Primal Rage is not being utilised that much. Self-destruct comes in. Italy need to be quick on their feet right now, and they managed to avoid it. Link working off the side, waiting for his next Dragon Blade.
But again, I eat you up into the back. Finds Bims immediately. No pulse bomb required. The Discord Orb marking his target on Australia. Now picking Italy apart, rolling in, getting the targets they need, and this defense is looking remarkably solid right now.
It's the pink bouncer. Kiki is going to sit in the way, and Link is not going to get any further along. And Australia themselves have not been using ultimates. They've been managing to win these fights in very vanilla fashion. Now they have 4 ready to go. Italy with only 1 or 2, perhaps 3, with Nisa getting his Transcendence here. This needs to be a very expensive fight for Italy.
Yes, it does. And for Italy coming in here, it's if they use both Transcendence and Dragon Blade and get nothing, and Australia's able to use their ultimates and just even it out, that's going to be very bad for Italy. This is their window to bring things in, even if they're at disadvantage. The Sound Barrier comes in, the Transcendence out for Italy, and this fight is underway.
Both support ults have been used by Italy here. They're digging deep in their pockets to try and find an advantage, but so far they haven't found it. A-Tar waiting till late in the fight to go for the tactical buys. Genji trying to get up towards him. Carnifex. It was Link, in fact, that found him eventually, but they've lost Nisa in the process.
This is still looking better for Italy than before. Their flankers able to strike blood into the backline. They are moving in. They're keeping this more even than it has been. Link under hot pursuit. No, not going to be able to get away from the Winston there in Australia. Digging deep, holding strong, and they're going to be throwing back Italy again. Only 8:20 left in the match here.
Fighter may well get staggered if he doesn't get away in time. He's going to be chased down. He's dropping in. He's the cleaning crew. And Fighter takes himself down. That's what happens if you use a Helix Rocket at close range here. Fighter is going to be the author of his own demise here. But Italy are on the precipice. They have 1 ultimate to work with here. They have a minute left. Australia have shown that they can fight vanilla fights without ultimates very well. It's do or die now for the Italians.
It absolutely is, and this is where I look to their Winston player and Ceres. Can he create disruption in the back line to give them the opportunity to move in here? There's not as much in terms of ultimates for either side, so there is an opportunity. Both sides poking out, and Ceres goes in.
That's it. The Primal Rage here just going to scatter the Australians a little bit. Let's see if they can hold under the heat. RQT gets the damage. Great burst on towards Ceres. Of course, the Discord Orb was there, but it's traded out. Gumba goes down now. Australia trying to use the high ground as much as possible. Sound barrier now, as they've lost Trill in this fight. They're 4 versus 6.
Ceres might have died, but it was a valiant sacrifice. It gave Link space to work with here. but now it is still even. Australia fighting tooth and nail. Late Dragon Blade out here from Link, looking to be the savior. Fighter following up. They break it down in Italy. Not out of it just yet, Mitch. They are able to break through. Link with the final 2 Dragon Blade kills, and Italy with a chance to complete this map yet.
And you see Link there in that fight. Didn't actually get a lot of kills as soon as he pulled the Dragon Blade out, but Atar, all of his mental bandwidth was committed to trying to deal with the Genji. That fighter sitting in the backline for Italy was able to get free damage and have a lot of space without being harassed by the enemy DPS.
And let's not forget Ceres' role in that too. He went Primal Rage, and yes, he died early, but he drew a lot of fire. That gave Link the opportunity he needed. Now the next fight is underway. Fighter, Tac Visor out, move looking for targets, supported by the Transcendence, and is able to strike one. Gets a support kill to the back. He looks Rocket not going to strike, and you still see Trill making space for Australia here.
But look at the aggression. Australia actually lost Gumber in that fight, but they still want to come forward. They believe that they can do it, and they are. Nisa and Bibbs are going down early. Both supports taken out of the fight. There's no healing for Italy. There's no staying power on this payload after they've lost those crucial players. And again, it's Atar and E2 up all over the kill feed as the fight gets cleaned up.
Cleanup is Atar's middle name right now for me, Mitch, here, where it's like, do you need a job done right? Throw in Atar. He's going to be just striking through the enemy team when you have an advantage. He has been great in making Australia win fights decisively after they get that early pick.
You see Trill was sitting off to the side just then waiting for his chance to jump in and try and scatter Italy to the 4 wins. Pulse Bomb dropped down there, but no effect here. It seems to have been eaten or missed. Now the self-destruct going to come in over the top of Kiki. What can he find with it? He finds Ceres. That's a huge pick off now. Italy are missing their Winston. It's all going wrong for them. It's catastrophic, and now they're going to be cut down once again.
The front line goes down, and that is it. Australia able to get the cleanup. Last 15 seconds left here, Mitch. It is now in question whether or not Italy can even get back onto the payload. They do have some options, so if they are. Link, Dragon Blade is at the ready, but if you're going into 2 support nodes, that's a rough draw.
Now, Trill gets chunked out fairly early on with the Discord now as well. Italy do make it back to the payload here, but they need to now win the fight, and they can't. They took so much damage even just getting their ZP, but now, by the time they made it, they're broken, bleeding, and bruised, and it's going badly for them.
Only 3 members of Italy left up. The odds could not be more against him. The Dragon Blade out from Link, but he is not able to get anything. The support ultimates stymieing him, and there it is again. Atar with the cleanup. How fitting is that, Mitch, to end this game and give Australia their first map victory.